Today, we'll be looking at the 10 best places to live in Maine. To help narrow down the top towns and cities, we looked at factors including crime rates, cost of living, access to healthcare, education, environment, and strength of the economy. Let's take a look at what we found. Number 10. Scarborough. Much of Maine is very remote, and that's often why residents like it so much. They enjoy the proximity to nature and separation from the hustle and bustle of urban environments. But what do you do if you're looking for a combination of both rural and urban? Well, consider moving to Scarborough. About a 15-minute drive from Portland, Scarborough boasts proximity to all of the amenities that Portland has to offer, but itself has a small-town rural feel. With a population of 20,000, Scarborough sits right on the coast and is most famous for its picturesque beaches. Pine Point Beach is one of this town's best-known beaches, and residents can be found taking advantage of it year-round. Prout's Neck Cliff Walk, which is a 1.1-mile seaside trail with epic ocean views, is another favorite. 80% of residents own their homes in Scarborough, which contributes to the sparse suburban feel you might get when driving through. It is consistently ranked one of the safest cities in Maine and also has highly ranked public schools. Living costs, while not cheap, are less than the national and state medians. The median home price is $376,100, less than the national median price of $428,700 and the state median price of $360,836. Rent is on par with national numbers, with the median rent being $1,399. Number 9. Bar Harbor. If you feel more at home in or near the water than you do on land, you might want to take a look at Bar Harbor. This historic town is located on Mount Desert Island and is surrounded by water on 3 sides. While the population of this town is about 5,500, if you decide to move here, you should be prepared for all of the tourists that flood through. Bar Harbor is known as the gateway to Acadia National Park, which last year saw 4 million visitors, most of whom came in the summer. But if you do decide to become a local, you'll be able to take advantage of Acadia National Park year-round, as it's less than 12 miles away. The park is home to Cadillac Mountain, which is the highest point on the North Atlantic seaboard. In the summer months, hiking up this mountain gives you epic views, and in the winter, it's a great spot for skiing and snowshoeing. Aside from its outdoor attractions, Bar Harbor is solidly ranked in terms of crime, employment, and cost of living. The crime rate here is lower than the state and national averages, and most of the crimes that are committed are nonviolent. The unemployment rate is only 2%, though we should note that many of the jobs here are seasonal. Finally, the median home value and rent are less than the national medians at $297,500 for home value and $881 for monthly rent, respectively, making Bar Harbor a relatively affordable place to live. Number 8. Rangeley. Rangeley won Down East Magazine's Best Places to Live in Maine in 2016, and it's easy to see why. The population of this town is tiny, with less than 2,000 residents, but that's part of its charm. And if you like a tight-knit community with access to the outdoors, Rangeley may be the place for you. Known for being a haven for nature lovers, Rangeley sits along the Appalachian Trail and has outdoor activities available year-round. In the summer, locals and tourists alike enjoy hiking, camping, or boating along Rangeley Lake State Park, which is an 869-acre park featuring a 10-square-mile lake. In the winter, this town is a base camp for snowmobiling, snowshoeing, and cross-country skiing at the Saddleback Ski Resort, which has 68 different trails threading down the mountain. The affordable cost of living here is another big attraction. Whether you're looking to buy a home or rent, you'll be pleased to know that Rangeley's cost of living ranks about 4% more affordable than the state average and 7% more than the national average. However, because of the influx of tourists in the winter, a lot of the work in Rangeley is seasonal, with many jobs being in the hospitality and catering industries. Rangeley's unemployment rate is also slightly higher than the national average of 3.7%, which means that it may be more difficult than average to find a job here. Number 7. Cumberland. If safety is important to you, look no further than at Cumberland, which is currently rated the safest place to live in Maine. Its crime rate is not only about 28.8 times less than the national average, but the rate of crime has continued to drop year over year. With a population of a little over 8,000, Cumberland is also known for its charming small-town feel and community-oriented values. Like many areas in Maine, Cumberland has picturesque beaches and plenty of green spaces and parks. But one thing this community has that others do not is the annual Cumberland Fair. One of the state's largest agricultural fairs, the Cumberland Fair is held once a year and attracts not only locals but farmers and tourists from across the state. While its purpose is to showcase the local agricultural communities, it also offers plenty of entertainment, including music, horse racing, and a demolition derby. The fair showcases the commitment to community that Cumberland has to offer. Although the cost of living does run high here, if safety and feeling a connection to your neighbors is important to you, you may feel at home in Cumberland. Number 6. Kennebunkport. For a mixture of history, family values, and a quaint town feel, take a look at Kennebunkport. This town of 3,627 is home to Cape Porpoise, which was the original settlement of Native Americans in the 1600s and later became a fishing village. While the fishing industry does still have a presence, today, Kennebunkport is a prime summer tourist spot and a great place to live year-round. If you have children or are looking to start a family, you'll be sure to appreciate the family values that are ingrained in Kennebunkport. For starters, this town has some of the best schools in the state of Maine. Its beaches and other attractions are also family-friendly. One of Kennebunkport's main beaches, for instance, is called Mother's Beach, and the name isn't there for nothing. This beach is widely considered one of the best beaches for kids because of its calm waves, playground, and friendly crowd. Beaches aside, there's also plenty to do in Kennebunkport in the winter. Its historic district, for instance, has nearly 200 shops and galleries and nearly 100 restaurants and pubs. However, while the quality of life is great in this little town, expect your bills to reflect that. The cost of living here is about 13% higher than the national average, and housing is about 31% higher. Number 5. Belfast. Belfast became perhaps best known in the 1950s for being the chicken capital of America due to the poultry plants that dominated the area. Now, Belfast calls itself the broiler capital of the world and hosts an annual Broiler Day in July that attracts thousands of people and has been dubbed Maine's version of Mardi Gras. But Broiler Day isn't the only festival. Belfast also holds the All Roads Music Festival, Belfast Harbour Fest, and Maine Celtic Celebration. This all goes to show how close-knit the community is here, and with a population of only 6,938, that shouldn't come as a surprise. Belfast is a relatively ethnically diverse town when compared to other parts of Maine's mid-coast and is known for being friendly to neighbors and tourists alike. The cost of living is also relatively affordable here. About 66% of residents own and 34% rent. But whichever camp you fall into, you'll be pleased to know that both the cost of a home and the cost of rent are well below state and national averages. While the median age of Belfast is 47, which is 2 years older than the state's median age, there's still plenty to do here if you're younger too. Even if you're not into Belfast's assortment of annual festivals, there are tons of bars, cool restaurants, and even a thriving art scene in this town. Number 4. Cape Elizabeth. Cape Elizabeth is known for its epic ocean views and respect for nature, qualities that matter greatly if you're looking to call yourself a Mainer. Sitting right on the Atlantic Ocean, Cape Elizabeth is considered one of the most scenic areas of Maine. If you've ever seen those postcards of lighthouses overlooking the ocean, you know what we're talking about. With a population of about 9,000, Cape Elizabeth is also recognized for being clean, friendly, and safe, with a crime rate far below the national average. And if you have children or work in education, you might be interested to know that Cape Elizabeth's public schools are high-performing, with performance rates above the country's average. Another one of the highlights of Cape Elizabeth is its Greenbelt Plan, which is a group of open spaces with public access rights. With over 18 miles of trails and numerous green spaces, the Greenbelt allows Cape Elizabeth residents all of the access to nature they could want. In addition to trails, if you decide to move to Cape Elizabeth, you'll be certain to take advantage of its beaches. Crescent Beach State Park is a favorite of many, and with its white sand beaches, saltwater coves, and rocky ledges, there is plenty of diversity to suit any beachgoer's needs. Number 3. Portland. The biggest city in Maine, if you're looking for urban living with proximity to Maine's natural beauty, Portland may be the spot for you. With a population of a little over 68,000, Portland gives you all of the amenities that come with city living while still maintaining a small-town feel. You'll never go hungry living here, as Portland has a vibrant, diverse restaurant scene that boasts some of the best food Maine has to offer, including Maine's famous lobster dishes. Portland is also known for its craft beer scene, with over 25 breweries in the city. There are also jobs and housing aplenty in Portland, making it a relatively easy place to move to. The unemployment rate in Portland is 2.5% below the national average. When it comes to housing, about 55% of households in Portland are renter-occupied and about 45% are owner-occupied. And while the average cost of rent is much higher than the national average at $1,635, it's still much less than renting in major cities like New York or Los Angeles. Overall, the cost of living in Portland is higher than the national average, but we should note that it's significantly lower when compared to many other cities. So, if you're looking to move to a big city and save some money without giving up urban amenities, Portland may be the place for you. Number 2. York. York is one of the oldest oceanfront communities in Maine. While this town booms with tourists during the summer, in the winter months it becomes a sleepy village of about 13,000. There are good reasons why tourists and locals alike love York. It has 4 beaches, some of which stretch 2 miles, 3 golf courses, and is home to Mount Agamenticus, which offers numerous hikes and scenic views. York is also home to a quaint downtown with artisanal shops, restaurants, and more. If you have kids or are thinking of starting a family, York is a great place to do it. Not only are the schools highly ranked, but there's plenty to do. Aside from its nature offerings, York also has a coastal amusement park called Wild Kingdom and is home to Maine's largest zoo. The Historical Society's Living History Museum is also a favorite for families. However, the cost of living here isn't cheap. Expect to pay far more than the state median of $360,836, as the median York home value is about $429,800. Number 1. Chebeague Island. If you're looking to be a part of an up-and-coming town, look no further than at Chebeague Island. This is the newest town in Maine and so far only has a population of about 515, though this balloons to over 1,600 in the summer months. The entire island is only 5 miles long and 1.5 miles wide, meaning that if you live here, you're probably going to know most of your neighbors. Though it's off the coast from Portland, it still takes 1 to 1.5 hours to get there, so this is definitely the spot for someone who likes to be away from it all. Chebeague Island is also a great place for you if you are interested in sustainability, as many of its residents take an active role in preserving the island's sustainability through community events. However, because of the high number of people who have summer homes here, house prices can be quite expensive. In fact, the median home value is estimated at $577,600, well above the national median of $428,700. Furthermore, while this is a great place for those looking to work remotely, as you can imagine, there aren't many job opportunities on the island itself aside from seasonal work, so employment can be a little hard to come by. What about the best states to live in America? Check out the video we made on that topic right here.